Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Renegades and Storm to kick off Week 8 of the UFL. The game kicks off and both Renegades players catch the ball, or at least try to. And the opening kickoff gets brought back to the 32-yard line. So the Renegades get the ball first. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We've got the Storm and Renegades to kick off Week 8. Should be a good game. I took the Storm to get the win here. I forget the exact score I said, but let me pull up the chat. I'll put out a poll in a second as well. But the Renegades, they start here, and their first play from scrimmage is a 3-yard run play for Ellis Merriweather. Ran for 2 scores last week against the Stallions. That was another game I streamed. Alright, there's the poll, so be sure to vote on that. For who you guys think will win, Storm or Renegades. I took the Storm. I don't remember what I said, but what score I said, but I know I did take Orlando. So 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. Did I miss a play? Well, now I lost connection, so give me a second. Alright, well, Reed got sacked on that play. I don't know if that was 2nd or 3rd down. If it was 3rd down, I definitely missed a play. Yeah, that was apparently 3rd down, because the Renegade's going to punt. So a quick 3 and out to open the game for Dallas. The Storm gets some pressure on the punt, but it is away. And will be brought back here by Chris Rowland. And Rowland on the return got some space, and he brings it back to about the 26-yard line. So Jack Plummer and the Storm offense onto the field. Jack Plummer this year, top 3 in the UFL, yards per aim, touchdown interception ratio 12-1. It's actually really good. And completion percentage at 64.9%. But he hasn't been amazing, but he's been very solid. Been one of the more consistent quarterbacks in the UFL. So 1st and 10 here from the 32. Well, I said 22 before. Sorry about that. Plummer going to hand off. And, man, this camera angle is really annoying. It's so low. But Trey Stewart got the carry. And he got about 3. We'll see what the Renegades did on their opening drive in a second. So 2nd and 7 from the 35. Plummer going to look to throw it. And his quick throw is incomplete, trying to get it to KJ Hamler. Wasn't going to have any space after the catch anyway. But a gain, or no gain there, his pass is incomplete. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Got an injured player here. Somebody grabbing their knee. It's an injured defensive player for the Renegades, so hopefully whoever that is okay. But let's actually see what the Renegades did on their first drive, considering missed a play. No, we went 3 and out. They went 3 plays, 0 yards. They ran up the middle for 3 yards. Then Austin Reed ran for 2. and then he got sacked. What type of job should you get? I have no idea. Whatever kind of job you think you'd enjoy. So we got 12:21 to go in the first quarter. At the injury timeout, I was hopefully whoever the injured player is okay. What do? I just work retail. Nothing too exciting, but it's something. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial here. The Storm will have a 3rd and 7. It showed a World Cup commercial. It's crazy the World Cup starts in less than a month. Like, I didn't realize how soon it started. I think we're inside 30 days now. That's kind of crazy. I think it was 30 days a few days ago. I don't remember exactly what day. Maybe Monday? But a 3rd and 7 here for the Storm. Empty backfield for Jack Plummer, who looked to throw it. And Plummer under pressure, but that is caught for a first down. Chris Rowland breaking a tackle. Rowland still on his feet inside Renegade territory to the 40-yard line. A nice catch and run there for Chris Rowland and a first down for the Storm. A 27-yard catch and run on that play. So from the 38-yard line, here we go Wildcat. As we got Deshaun Corbin taking the direct snap, and he'll keep it for a gain of a yard. I don't even know where Jack Plummer wound up on that play. So 2nd and 9 from the 37. 11 minutes to go in the opening quarter. So Plummer this time hands it off to Corbin, and he cuts upfield, gain of about 4. Brings up 3rd and 5. Another 3rd down here for the Storm. This is the Storm offense. They only had 185 total yards last week, but still scored 24 points and got the win. Kind of explained the Storm offense all year long. Nothing amazing, but just good enough to win. Here they're going to set up the screen on 3rd down, but Hamler goes nowhere as he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Renegades defense knew what was coming, and it's 4th down. So it's 4th and 5, and now I would assume a field goal here for the Storm. Yeah, it will be a field goal try. It's going to be a long field goal, 51 yards. Michael Lance, long 57 on the year, 11 for 13. And the kick for Lance is no good. Misses it wide to the right. and it stays scoreless. So no points for either team on their first drive of the game, as the Renegades go 3 and out and the Storm miss a field goal. Are you streaming the World Cup? I might. I don't know how much, but I might stream a little bit of it. I mean, I also just don't know a ton of soccer, so that's why I might not do a whole ton. Like, I'll make a few videos in the World Cup. I know that, but as far as streaming goes, I'm not completely sure how much I will stream, that is. What about the final? Yeah, I might. I don't even know. When is the final? It's like a Sunday afternoon, right? I was looking at the schedule the other day, and now I don't remember. Yeah, but I'll have to see how things go. With the World Cup and stuff like that. The final is July. What is it? The 19th? Yeah, it's July 19th at 3. So that's a Sunday. So maybe I will stream the final. I'm not completely sure yet. It's one day before your birthday, so I better remember to wish you a happy birthday. Yeah, there's no chance of remembering that. I'm terrible at remembering birthdays. Names I'm good with. Birthdays I'm not good with. So happy birthday in advance. Like far in advance, because I'm not remembering months from now. So the Renegades have got the ball back here. Actually, they cut back after the kickoff. Not sure why they did that. But Reed to throw. It's a high throw that is caught by Drake Stoops. And Stoops going to gain 7 on the screen. A solid first down play there for the Renegades. So from the 48, they go to the ground. And this time, not as much, just a yard. So it's a 3rd and 2. So here's Reed in shotgun. And Reed going to toss this to the outside. On the toss, they're going to get the first down. I don't even know who that was who got the carry. Oh, that was Lorenzo Wingard. I forgot he was even on the Renegades. But he gets the carry for a gain of about 2, and they move the sticks. And they also get the ball inside of Storm territory. So now they can no longer punt on this drive. Empty backfield here for Austin Reed. And Reed steps up, throws outside. That's caught by Drake Stoops again. He's got space after the catch. And Stoops going to get to the 25-yard line. Why this instead of the NBA playoffs? Because I've just been streaming UFL all year. And I mean, I don't really watch the NBA that much. I'd much rather watch football. Reed sidearms one. There's Tyler Vaughn's. And Vaughn's going to gain about 9 on the catch and run. Another nice play there. He had a great start to the year. But really slowed down, as the rest of the Renegades team has. But there's a nice catch for him. So 2nd and 1 from the 17-yard line. Reed in shotgun. And Reed throws outside. That is caught. And that is going to be close to the marker. I think he's going to get the first down. Yeah, they're going to give it to him. So Baylor Cup with a gain of a yard and a first down. And now we got Luke Lennon into the game for the first time. We saw him a little bit last week when he ran the ball, and he'll run it right here as he goes right up the middle, and Lennon gets taken down for a gain of 4. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. And why is your name Super Sports Central and your profile pic have basketball? I don't know. I mean, it's not like I don't make any basketball videos, just not a ton. Like, I did a bunch of stuff for March Madness before, like a couple months ago. Reed to throw here. He throws end zone. It is incomplete. Receiver had it for a second, but then it got knocked free, and it's 3rd down. Mims almost had it. That one should definitely be caught. Name 10 current NBA players. Alright, I'll do that in a second after the next commercial. Reed throws the flat. That gets tipped at the line, and it's incomplete. So it's 4th down. And the Renegades go from having a touchdown in their hands to now being forced to settle for 3. So it's a field goal try for the Renegades. 31 yards. Their kicker has not been very good. He's 5 for 11 this year. I still don't know how he's on the roster. A 31-yard field goal is good. And the Renegades get on the board first. They take the 3-0 lead. After a pretty solid drive, though definitely a major missed opportunity, dropping the touchdown for Denzel Mims. But Renegades up 3-0, 4:16 to go in the first quarter. Alright, now you want 10 current NBA players? That's really easy. Do you want just random players, or just... I'll just name the first 10 that come into my head. Gonna be mostly Knicks, because I know their roster pretty well. You got Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Deuce McBride. Sorry, I can combined Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride. Who else? You've got obviously LeBron. You got Steph Curry. You got Wemby, Jokic. All right, there's 10. See, I know basketball. I just don't make videos in basketball. You live in Seattle and you can name more Knicks. Okay. I was just thinking the first players that popped into my head. I mean, I could keep going if you want. But you only asked for 10. You gave Knicks players move to run. So? You just said name 10 players. Name the whole roster? I don't know the entire roster. So back from commercial here, 4:16 to go in the first quarter. And the kick is going to go into the end zone on the fly for a touchback. So it'll be brought out to the 35-yard line. You got Shamit, Jose Alvarado. Yeah. I just didn't think of them right away. So the Storm offense back onto the field. Their first drive moved the ball a little bit, but ended up missing a field goal. They start their own 40 after the touchback because the ball went into the end zone on the fly. So Plummer, quick throw to the outside. There's Chris Rowland. He gets a block and picks up 3, maybe 4. They're on first down. Let's take a 2.9 GPA is good. It's okay. So 2nd and 7. Plummer gonna look to throw here, and he floats one down the sideline with miscommunication with his receiver, and it's incomplete. The receiver ran an out route. Plummer is looking for a go ball, and it's incomplete. So 3rd and 7 after the incompletion from their own 43. Hamler goes in motion, and Plummer gonna look to throw. And Plummer over the middle, that is caught by Rowland again. Already his 3rd catch. And he's got another first down. That is his 2nd nice catch on 3rd down. And another 3rd down conversion for the Storm. Good job at Plummer there to stand in a collapsing pocket and make a good throw. So from the Renegade 38, here's another quick throw. This time KJ Hamler gets it. And Hamler going to pick up about 3. And it brings up 2nd and 7. Actually, they're going to give him 5. Wow. Let's make it 2nd and 5. They've tried to get the ball to him quite a few times. Just hasn't quite worked out a few times. So 2nd and 5. Plummer under center from the 35. And Plummer hands off. Trey Stewart up the middle for just about a yard. This is a Storm offense that started running the ball really well early in the year, but they have not run the ball as effectively. as of late. It's been a pass-heavy approach so far. So 3rd and 6. Renegades show blitz. They'll bring 4. Plummer steps up, goes deep downfield, into the end zone. It is knocked away. Incomplete. And it's 4th down. A really nice defensive play made by number 22, Steele, saving a touchdown there for the Renegades. That is a really good play. It saves a touchdown and forces another long field goal try. That just missed from 51. This one's from 52. And this one missed it left. So he misses the first one to the right, misses the second one to the left. And it stays 3-0. So the Storm come up empty on their first 2 drives with 2 missed field goals. And the Renegades also get the ball with great starting field position. Can you put a pen in your hand and hold it up like Tom Brady does? I have no idea how Tom Brady holds a pen. Also, I don't have a pen near me. But going back to what I was saying before about the Storm and running the ball. Like, they were right in week 1 against the Aviators. They ran for 139, 4.8 yards a carry. Week 2 against the Kings, they ran not great. 89 yards, 2.6 yards a carry. Week 3 against the Kings, also not the greatest. 73 yards, 3.5 yards a carry. Then against the Stallions, the first time, they were pretty good. 123 and 4.1. But then against the Battlehawks, they weren't the greatest. Rushing for 85 yards. The Stallions the second time. Nothing amazing, just 72 yards. And then last week against the Gamblers, they ran for 55. So it could be a lot better. Search up Tom Brady commenting games photos and you'll see he's got a pen in his hands. I never even realized that. Renegades in their first 3 games scored 31 points a game. They were 3-0. Austin Reed looked like the league MVP. But since then, he has not been good. They're scoring just 15 points a game, and they're 0-4. It has been a drastic difference from weeks 1 to 3 through weeks 4 to 7 so far. So the Renegades get the ball on the 41. And here is Merriweather up the middle. And he's got a nice run. He gains 12 before he's knocked down at the Storm 46-yard line. Also, I just realized, before I said they didn't even show the kickoff. There wasn't a kickoff because it was a missed field goal. I don't know how I didn't realize that before. But obviously, they had good starting field position again after the Storm missed another long field goal. So, first down from the 46. Reed going to look to throw, unlikely the final play of the quarter. Reed dancing around, he's going to run here. And Reed gets inside the 40, gets the first down, and slides after a gain of 12. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. So a nice scramble right there for Austin Reed. First down for the Renegades. And at the end of the first quarter, it's the Renegades up by 3 as they lead 3-0. Storm will outgun them over the whole game. Yeah, I would probably agree. I mean, they've moved the ball, just haven't really gotten anything out of it. I mean, the Renegades, they've looked okay, but nothing amazing. Although I do think Austin Reed has looked pretty good. 4 for 6, 38 yards. And a nice scramble right there as well. I mean, I know it's just one quarter, 6 pass attempts. So it's nothing too crazy. But I did think he looked pretty good. And also made a great throw to the end zone, though it got dropped by Denzel Mims. Read the good intro paragraph to your essay. I don't know. Don't ask me that. I was not good at writing. So I don't think you want me answering that question. So at the end of the first quarter, we've got a 3-0 lead. I gotta change this to quarter 2. There we go. So 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. Renegades outgaining the Storm 70-61. Both teams averaging about 5 yards per play. 5.1 for the Storm to be exact. 5 for the Renegades. Both teams a decent offensive start and moved the ball a little bit despite only having 3 combined points. So they are now back from commercial. Luke Wennon is now into the game at quarterback for the Renegades. This will be the second play he'll see in this game. And it'll come on first down from the 34-yard line. Wennon hands off. Merriweather gets the carry straight ahead for 2 yards. And Wennon now goes back out. Austin Reed comes back in for 2nd and 8. So an empty backfield for Austin Reed. And Reed gonna look to throw. Roll to his right. Reed on the run. Throws, that is caught for the first down. Greg Ward gets it for a gain of about 13. And he moves to 6. Another nice play for Austin Reed. A nice throw on the run. And a first down for the Renegades. Yeah, Austin Reed has looked pretty good so far. Looks a little bit more like the version of him we saw in the first 3 weeks as opposed to the last 4. So first down from the 19. Reed, hands off. Here's Merriweather up the middle. And he gains about 6. A nice pickup there on first down. Brings up 2nd and 4. Why'd you look up like that? Because I thought I saw something up there. So 2nd and 4. Reed, hands off Merriweather again. I thought Reed kept that. But Merriweather got the carry. He's got another nice run, another first down for the Renegades. With 13 minutes to go in the first half. So 1st and goal for the Renegades. Lennon back in at quarterback. So most likely a run play upcoming right here. Yep, they will run it. Lennon's going to keep it. And he'll gain a yard, maybe 2. At some point, they've got to let him throw it because... I mean, you put him in, everyone knows a run is coming. Like, I don't really care how good of a runner he is. Like, if everyone knows what's coming, you're gonna get stopped. So, Reed back in at quarterback. 2nd and goal from the 8. Reed gonna look to throw. He's got time, plenty of it. And dumps off to Merriweather on the flat. And he is knocked down at the 3. And it brings up 3rd and goal. So we got 11.5 minutes to go in the first half. It is 3rd and goal. From the 3. Renegades already up 3-0, but a good drive for them. Trying to extend their lead and get the game's first touchdown. Vaughns goes in motion. Reed throws. End zone. Call for a touchdown. Emmanuel Butler makes the catch. Renegades extend their lead. A nice touchdown pass there for Austin Reed, and he's looked very good to start this game. But the Renegades, again, capitalize off the missed field goal. They go down the field, they get the game's first touchdown, and they're about to be up by 10. Really nice throw and catch. A back shoulder throw to Emmanuel Butler. Defender even gets his arm in there, but nice strong catch there for Butler and a touchdown for the Renegades. And now we've got flags that come in. I think every official that had one threw one. I think the Storm had 12 guys on the field. So we'll try the extra point again. Yeah, now 5 yards closer. They did call too many men against the Storm. And the extra point is good. So it is 10-0 Renegades. After they go right down the field, they extend their lead. And they're now up by 10. Here, almost midway through the second quarter. But a nice drive there for Austin Reed. And he's gotten off to a good start. He's 7 for 9, 57 yards. And a touchdown. And Jack Palmer's been pretty good as well. He's 5 for 8, 53 yards. Despite his team being down 10. But Austin Reed, he's looked very good. He has not had a multi-touchdown game since week 4. He's already got 1 touchdown here in this game. His last few games, he's not been too great. Last week, no touchdowns or interceptions. The week before, he had 1-1. And in the week before that, he had 1-4. After playing pretty well in the first 4 weeks. I mean, the first 3 weeks he was great. 9 touchdowns, 1 pick. But even week 4, he wasn't terrible. With another couple touchdowns, even though he only did go 13 for 27. Which Drake album was your favorite? I don't know. I haven't listened to a single one. And I don't plan to. So what do you do in life? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I make videos. I do what anyone else does. I play video games in my spare time. I don't really know how to answer that question. This kickoff bounces short of the landing zone, so it'll come out to... Wow, how do people go flying when the ball doesn't even reach the landing zone? But the kick bounces short. As the ball comes out to, I believe, the 35. It might be the 40. Why'd you say spare time, not free time? I have no idea. It's just what I said. I didn't even realize I said that until you pointed it out. So the Storm starts its drive at the 40 after the kickoff did not reach the landing zone. And here's a little touch pass to Chris Rowland. And Rowland trying to turn the corner. He'll cut back inside. And he's thrown down after getting about 6. And whoever 33 was had a great block. I don't know who that is, but they did a really good job helping. Actually, they called that back. So never mind, that was not a great block. Instead, I don't know what they called exactly, but they backed him up 10. So it's now 1st and 20. So here's Plummer to throw. He steps up, and he floats one deep over the middle. That is caught inside Renegade territory to the 45-yard line. Nice throw and catch. First down, Storm. So a nice pickup right there. First down for the Storm. They gain 25. So from the Renegades 45, here's Plummer. And he tries to set up the screen. They've thrown a lot of those. Trying to throw a screen to KJ Hamler. It's only worked like one time. Yet they still keep trying it. And it's now 2nd and 10 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. So 2nd and 10 from the 45. Plummer. Here's a shovel pass that is caught by Jashawn Corbin. And he'll gain 8. Another nice pickup there. And Jack Plummer has been pretty good to start this game as well. Brings up a 3rd and 2. With a little over 9 minutes to go in the first half. Could be 4-down territory. Plummer gonna hand it off, and he did not get there. Got about a half what they need, maybe a little over a yard, but Stewart comes up short. That was Dotson with the carry. How many running backs do they have? But it comes up short. Now 4th and 1. I think you got to go for this. You already missed 2 field goals. They will go for it, but a flag comes in at the snap. As Plummer went with the quarterback sneak. So let's see this. They call offsides against the Renegades. So it gives the Storm 5 yards, and they get the first down. They have 5 running backs. Okay. Probably not. That seems like a lot. So 1st and 10 here from the 30. Renegades bring 5. Plummer goes deep down the sideline. Towards the end zone. It is incomplete. Was looking for Elijah Badger, who had 2 touchdowns last week. But that one ends up bouncing off the helmet of the defender. And it's now 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 from the 31. Plummer under center. And Plummer going to hand off. Here's Dotson trying to bounce outside. He's going the wrong way. And he will get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain for the Renegade, for the Storm. So it is now 3rd and 10. Storm are 2 for 5 on 3rd down. And before this play, we've got a timeout called defensively. So the Renegades call their first timeout. With 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first half. Before this 3rd and 10 play. Renegades outgaining the Storm right now 105 to 94. Renegades with 52 rushing yards, Storm with 9. But the Storm more yards through the air, although both teams I think have thrown the ball pretty well. Reed is thrown for like 60 and a touchdown. Plummer's thrown for about 80. So we got 7:13 to go in the first half. Plummer to throw on third down. He throws underneath. That is caught by Rowland. And he'll gain about 5, but he's still well short of the first down. And now a decision here for the Storm. You could kick the field goal, but you could also go for it, considering you've already missed 2 field goals. It's 4th and 4, down by 10. I mean, you're still in the first half with 7 minutes to go. So I really understand either, but this is going to be a 43-yarder. They've missed 2 long ones, 51 and 52. They will try a 43-yard field goal. And this one is good. Right down the middle. So Anthony Beck remains confident in his kicker, and Michael Lance nails the field goal. And it's now 10-3 as the Storm are on the board. So it's 10-3, Renegades lead the Storm, but another solid drive for the Storm as again they move the football. And they moved the ball pretty well on all 3 drives. Although all 3 have ended in field goal tries. The only thing about that, while you have moved the ball, is you obviously want to end in touchdowns, not field goals, but I'm sure they'll take the points. As it's now 10-3. Could be 10-9 if they had made all their field goals. But obviously that did not happen. So they're back from a commercial here. We got 6:25 to go in the first half. And the Renegades will get it back. So far, results in the poll, 80% of you guys said the Storm will win, 20% have said the Renegades. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. I took the Storm in this game 22-16. Was my pregame prediction. So 1st and 10 from the 29. Reed gonna look to throw. He throws underneath, and that is caught by Vaughns. As he'll gain 4. And bring up 2nd and 6. Austin Reed is now 8 for 10 for 61 yards and a touchdown. So Reed keeps us in the option. He cuts up the middle and gains 3. I don't know if Reed really wanted to keep that. He kept it, and then after he kept it, he looks like he was panicking, not knowing what to do with it. But he does gain a couple on the scramble. So the Renegades, with the play clock winding down, they're going to call a timeout here before this 3rd down. I don't know why the clock is still running when they called a timeout, but they spent a timeout before this 3rd down play. Austin Reed's run for 17 yards, thrown for 61, and a touchdown. He's played pretty well. So 3rd and 4, 5:14 to go in the first half. They did put the time back on the clock. Stoops goes in motion. Reed gonna look to throw. Reed gets pressured. Reed's still on his feet. Now he goes down. Austin Reed gets taken down for a sack on 3rd down. And the Renegades gonna go 3 and out. And the Storm defense gets a stop. He was going to step up and run, but that lane closed very quickly. And it's 4th down. So Hall comes on to punt it away with 4:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. And this one is fielded on a couple bounces. And here's Hamler trying to get to the outside. And Hamler able to turn the corner. And he's then forced in bounds at, I believe, the 45-yard line. A really good return. Getting it out near midfield. And with the Storm down 10-3, they get them all back. With an opportunity to tie it up before halftime. And they get the ball to start the 2nd half. So in a pretty good spot, despite being down by 7. With 4:19 to go in the first half. So we're back from commercial. Storm will get it back. 4:19 to go before halftime. They're going to start on exactly midfield after a really good punt return from KJ Hamler. The first play of the drive is a handoff. Corbin cuts up the middle and gains 5. Good first down run. As they try to get the run game going. Hasn't really been too effective so far, but Plummer's been good, throwing for 92 yards. That was one of their better runs of the day, as they got 5. They go back to the ground. Here's Corbin, and he just has nowhere to go. And he gets a yard. So it's now 3rd and 4. 3:20 to go in the first half. Renegades still up by 7. And we've got an injured defensive lineman down on the field for the Storm. Sorry, for the Renegades. So obviously, hopefully he's okay as they go to an injury timeout. Just give me 1 second. Just checking something real quick while we wait for them to come back from commercial. Alright, sorry about that. But they're now back from commercial. 3rd and 4 here for the Storm. Empty backfield for Jack Plummer. Plummer going to look to throw it, and he throws quickly. That is caught by Rowland for a first down. He's been the target on 3rd downs for the Storm. He got another one there, and he got another catch, another first down. Renegades playing pretty soft coverage there, so an easy throw and catch there for the Storm. That is something that never made sense to me. Why would you play your corners 8 yards off when it's 3rd and 4? Yeah, that's just giving up a free first down. Another first down screen pass here for the Storm. This time it's for Badger. And he gains 8. So that time the screen works, but they really like their first down screen plays. They don't have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. They got 10 seconds. Let's see if they do. Yeah, they're not going to. Just try to draw them off sides. Which doesn't happen. So we reached the 2-minute warning. The Renegades up 10-3. But the Storm with the football, looking to cut into that Renegades lead. And they get the ball to start the second half. Jack Plummer over 100 yards passing as he's 10 for 15, 109 yards. Makes up for the run game, averaging 1.9 yards a carry, as they've run it 8 times for 15 yards. But Plummer, he has played very well. I think he's a player who should be in the MVP conversation. I mean, he doesn't have the craziest numbers. Oh, as I pull up the stats right now, give me 1 second. Like, he doesn't have the craziest numbers, 170 or 1,473 yards. That's only about 210 yards per game, but I mean, that's second in the league in passing yards. He's second in touchdowns with, or third in touchdowns with 12, has just 1 pick. He leads the UFL in passer rating. He is second in the league in completion percentage. I mean, I think he's got to be in the MVP race. If I had to say right now, I'd probably give it to Jordan Ta'amu, but I mean, if you're just looking at the numbers, Plummer is probably the better pick. He's got more yards, he's got 1 less touchdown, and he's got 6 fewer interceptions. Because Ta'amu has now thrown 7 in 7 games, after he had 2 last week. I mean, it just feels like Jack Plummer is not the most consistent guy when it comes to just consistently throwing for 250 yards, because I mean, he really hasn't been great. Like, he threw for 150 last week, but 320 the week before. Then he went 140, 180, but then 250. And then 180, and then 240. So, I mean, he's not always consistent with yards, but he's always finding the end zone. He protects the football. And I mean, even though he's not super consistent, he is still second in the league in passing yards. So first down for the Storm from 19. Sorry, I missed a catch and run for Elijah Badger while I was talking about the stats. Plummer going to look to throw it. Plummer dancing around, and he'll just check it down to Corbin, who had stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So 2nd and 11. Plummer in shotgun, got it back to his left. And here's Plummer to throw. As he goes outside, that is nearly picked off. A diving attempt at it, but it fell incomplete. And it's 3rd and 11. .59 seconds to go in the first half. Renegades with 1 timeout. Storm still have all 3. And the Storm going to use their first timeout right here before this third down play. So 3rd and 11, coming out of the timeout. The Storm also get the ball to start the second half. So an opportunity to double up right here. But first, a 3rd down from the 20. Plummer in shotgun, going to look to throw it. He's got time. And Plummer downfield, that is caught for a first down. They gain 12. Camper makes the catch. And a first down for the Storm. They got 25 before on 1st and 20. Either last drive or the drive before. And this time they gained 12 on 3rd and 11. And moved the sticks both times, obviously. So 1st and goal, 40 seconds to go. Clock is running. From the 8. Plummer going to look to throw. Plummer pump fakes. Now throws underneath. That is caught. Short of the goal line. And he stopped at the 1. Brings up 2nd and goal, 25 seconds and counting. And it looks like they're going to spike it right here. No, Plummer's just going to sneak it. He dives over the pile. And he's in. Touchdown Storm. He fakes everybody out. Everyone thinks he's just going to spike it. Instead, he dives over the pile for a Storm touchdown. A smart play there by Jack Plummer. And the Storm are an extra point away from tying it up. So a very smart play right there. And here is Michael Lance to add the extra point. After the Storm find the end zone for the first time. And the extra point from Lance is right down the middle. So we are tied up at 10. After a rushing touchdown from Jack Plummer. The Storm got their first touchdown of the day. And they did a good job scoring with not much time left on the clock as well. Also, Plummer did a good job there not to fumble. Sometimes you see guys try to do that and just dive over the pile, break the plane, and they lose the ball. He did a really good job right there to not fumble, hold on to the ball, and score a touchdown. It's a 10-play, 50 yards as they take 4:05 off the clock. Leaving just a few seconds, 14 to be exact, for the Storms, or sorry, for the Renegades. So a really good job when it comes to managing the clock and getting the points before halftime. Because now you leave the Renegades just 14 seconds and you get the ball to start the second half. The kickoff here brought back by Wingard, and he's taken down at the 33. The Storm currently sitting as the 3rd seed in the UFL. They'll clinch a playoff spot today with a win. Renegades are 3-4. They're currently the 6th seed. We're in 6th place, which is not a playoff spot. So they've got some work to do. But 10-10 at halftime. A good start for the Renegades, but the Storm close the half on a pretty good note. The Renegades score the first 10, the Storm score the second 10. and the Storm also get the ball to start the second half. But overall, a pretty good first half for both sides, all things considered. I think both offenses did a good job moving the football, especially throwing the football. And I think it should be a pretty good second half. And I'm excited to see what happens in the second half. But I'm going to go take a quick break, use the bathroom, fill my water. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. So we got a 10-10 game at the half. A pretty good first half. And as far as an updated score prediction goes, my original prediction was the Storm 22-16, and I think it's going to be pretty similar to what I originally said. I am still going to take the Storm. But this game can definitely go either way. But I'm still going to take the Storm. I still think they're going to get the win. I think it'll be close. Obviously, I said 22-16 before, so that is pretty close. But I'm going to go with the Storm by a score of, let's see, we'll give them a touchdown, put them to 17. Field goal, put them to 20. We'll go 23-20 Storm. So that is what we'll say the prediction is. Updated score prediction, that is. But, I thought both teams played pretty well offensively. I don't think either team was amazing. But both teams were solid. And when we pull up the stats, alright, here we go, the stats. So Jack Plummer had a pretty good first half. He went 14 for 20 for 135 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. Well, actually, he did run for a touchdown, but nothing passing. On the ground for the Storm, they were awful. Deshaun Corbin, 4 carries for 11 yards. Trey Stewart, 2 carries, 3 yards. Dotson, 2 carries for a yard. And Jack Plummer, 1 carry for a yard and a touchdown. But as a team, 9 carries, 16 yards. It was pretty bad. That's 1.8 yards a carry. Then receiving for the Storm, Chris Rowland, a big first half, 5 catches for 64 yards. Camper, 2 for 37. Badger, 2 for 16. Corbin, 2 for 7. Wigwas, I don't know how to say that guy's name, 1 for 7. And Hamler, 2 for 4 on 5 targets. Then for the Renegades, Austin Reed went 8 for 10, 61 yards and a touchdown. They were also pretty solid on the ground. Ellis Merriweather, 6 carries, 30 yards. Austin Reed, 4 for 16. Luke Wennon, 2 for 5. And Lorenzo Wingard, 1 carry, 3 yards. And then receiving for the Renegades, Drake Stoops, 2 catches for 28 yards. Tyler Vaughns, 2 for 13. Greg Ward, 1 for 13. Merriweather, 1 for 3. Butler, 1 for 3 and a touchdown. Cup, 1 for a yard. And Denzel Mims dropped a touchdown in the end zone. So he's obviously got no catches on 1 target. And then team stats from the first half. The Storm outgained the Renegades 151 to 104. The Storm at 5.2 yards a play, Renegades at 4.2. The Storm 1 for 1 in the red zone, Renegades went 1 for 2. And the Storm also more time possession, but very close. 15-47 compared to 14-13. The Storm more yards passing, 135 to 50. But the Renegades more yards on the ground, 54 to 16. The Storm defense also 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass deflection. Renegades defense no sacks, 1 TFL, 3 pass breakups, and no turnovers for either side in the first half. But, I mean, I think we should see a pretty good game in the second half. Both teams played pretty well offensively in the first half. They moved the ball effectively. I think that'll continue. And hopefully we get a pretty close and fun second half. But the second half will start within the next couple minutes. So I will go ahead and get this ready for the second half. The Storm will get the ball to start the second half as they try to continue to build on their momentum to end the half on. The Renegades scored the first 10 points. Storm scored the second 10. The Storm also will clinch a playoff spot with a win. That would put them at 6-2. Alright, but the second half should start within the next couple minutes. It's been a pretty good game so far. There's actually 3 UFL teams that can clinch a playoff spot this week. Those being all 3 teams that are 5-2, so the Storm Defenders and Battlehawks. They can all clinch a playoff spot with a win. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Alright, why are they showing so many highlights for other games? Like, can we start the second half? Halftime is never this long. Why is it taking 10 years this time? I've got no idea, but hopefully the second half starts soon because I don't really know why they're doing all this. I mean, they're showing highlights from like every game this year. I really don't know why they're doing this. As a Stallions fan, go Storm. Yeah, it makes sense. You guys would definitely want them to win. But I think the Stallions are in a pretty good spot. I mean, I know they're only 3-4, but if the playoffs started today, they'd be in. And they've got a pretty easy remaining schedule. I mean, I don't think the Aviators are the easiest team in the world to face, but they're definitely a favorable opponent. And you've also got the Gamblers, who, I mean, I know they give the Stallions trouble, but if I'm the Stallions, I like the schedule, the final 3 weeks. If we had DTR from the start, at least it'd be Houston, maybe St. Louis. Yeah, I mean, if they had Dorian Thompson-Robinson the entire time, I mean, they would be so much better. I mean, it was just so surprising how bad the offense was. Like, I thought they would be so good with Matt Corral. Because, I mean, in the past, we've seen him play for the Stallions and play well. But he was just not it. But yeah, I mean, if the Stallions, if they were better and had DTR from the start, they would definitely not be 3-4 right now. They still probably win week 1. They probably beat the Gamblers in week 2, like you said. Let me pull up the rest of their schedule. Yeah, maybe you beat the Battlehawks. I think you could have beaten the Storm, because you only lost 16-0 there. I still think you probably lose to Defenders, because your defense couldn't stop anything in that game. And then obviously we saw what happened when they had DTR. Matt highs ain't worth his woes. There's a reason he was second string past years under Skip. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I thought he'd be... Like, I thought the highs would just be more and just higher. Like, the highs just weren't there this year. But that was always the thing with him. He was so inconsistent. That's what really held him back. I mean, DTR at times hasn't always been most consistent either, but I mean, at least he's looked a lot better than Matt Corral so far. And I think that'll probably continue. Because I mean, even if he's not having his best game throwing the ball, he can at least always do something with his legs. Where I mean, Matt Corral's not a statue, but he's also not like, well, DTR. The second half starts here, and a good return here for Corbin, getting it out to the 45-yard line, but a flag does fly in. Might come back. So this one will come back. We got a hold against the Storm on the return. So wipes off the good return. So 1st and 10 here from the 20 after the penalty. It was a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, which was occurred at the 30. It was a holding call. So 1st down from the 20. And Plummer, 1st down throw is caught by Badger. And he gains about 9. Nice throw and catch there. Plummer's played very well in this game. So 2nd and short. Plummer in shotgun back to his right. Plummer hands it off. Stewart is stuffed in the backfield. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage, loses a yard, and it's 3rd and 2. Yo, who is 99? Why does he not have a nameplate? I don't know who that is, but for some reason there's no name on the back of his jersey. But he makes the stop there. So 3rd and 1. Plummer in shotgun back to his left. And Plummer gonna keep it in the option here. Gets a block on the outside. Jack Plummer down the sideline. Inside Renegade territory. Gets a block. Plummer all the way. Touchdown Storm. Wow, Jack Plummer with a long rushing touchdown. And the Storm take their first lead of the day. That is not something to see every day out of Jack Plummer, but a long touchdown run. And the Storm score very quickly here in the first on the first drive of the second half. How about that? A long touchdown for Jack Plummer. And here is Michael Lance to add the extra point. And it is good. 17-10. The Storm take their first lead of the day after a long touchdown for Jack Plummer. And he now has 2 rushing touchdowns. That is not something you see every day out of Jack Plummer. That was a 71-yard touchdown run. And he's now run it 2 times for 72 yards. And 2 touchdowns. For Plummer, it's his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season. And it's his first ever multi-touchdown game as a runner. In his career, he had only run for 3 touchdowns, college included, before this game. So when he was in college at Purdue, he ran for 1 touchdown in 2020. Then at Cal, he ran for 1 touchdown in 2022. And then at Louisville, he ran for 1 touchdown in 2023. So not only is it his first ever multi-rushing touchdown game, it's his first ever season where he had multiple rushing touchdowns in the same season, and it's happened in the same game. But Plummer is never someone who's been known for his mobility. He can run, as we just saw right there, but he's always been more of a pocket passer than a runner. But clearly he can do it, as he runs for 71 yards and a touchdown. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. We got 13:27 to go in the third quarter, and we'll see how the Renegades respond. They're now trailing for the first time today. The Storm have scored 17 straight after trailing 10-0. So let's see how Austin Reed and this Renegades offense responds. So the kickoff going to be brought back from the 3. And here's Merriweather. And he got a good return. He breaking tackles out to the 37-yard line. So a good return there for the Renegades. And we'll see what the offense can do here on their first drive of the second half. Jack Plummer, his 71-yard touchdown is the longest run in the UFL this year. So Reed gonna look to throw on first down. He throws outside, but he threw it out of bounds, and it's 2nd and 10. Plummer has now also run for 72 yards in this game, which is probably the most by a quarterback in the season, or on the season. We really haven't seen many big rushing games from quarterbacks this year. Here's a run play for Merriweather, but he gains just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 9, so a quick 3rd down for the Renegades. So 3rd down and 9, an empty backfield for Reed. Reed steps up, throws outside, that is caught. And a nice move by Butler after the catch, lunging towards marker. And he is very close. Here's a good look. Yeah, I think he got that. A great effort by Emmanuel Butler. He had the touchdown before, and a really good effort to get the first down on this play. So a first down for the Renegades, as they do officially mark him that he got the first. A gain of 9. So from the 48-yard line, they go back to the ground. Here's Merriweather up the middle with a lot of space. Merriweather into the secondary. Taken down to the 34-yard line. You didn't think he was down. I thought he was. But I think, are going to rule he was down the first time. Anyway, he had a good run. Maybe he didn't go down. I thought his knee was down at some point. They put the ball on the 42. Sorry, 37. Went the wrong way. Well, that was a nice run, whether he got the extra yards or not. He had a multi-touchdown game last week, and he's run it pretty effectively. 8 carries, 46 yards in this game. Merriweather gets it again here to the left side. This time he's stopped after a yard. So 2nd and 9. Reed in shotgun, gonna back to his left. Reed, plenty of time to throw. Now he swads to his left, and Reed lets one go deep downfield. Wide open receiver, touchdown Renegades. The tight end, Beller Cup, makes the catch. No, that's Seth Green, never mind. The tight end, Seth Green, makes the catch. And the Renegades an extra point away from tying it up. Man, what a play. Reed has all kinds of time. He buys more time, drifting to his left, and then Green comes wide open downfield for a Renegades touchdown. He just extends his route on the scramble drill. Reed finds him downfield. But he was wide open, easy touchdown. And the Renegades about to tie it up. Are the Storm challenging right here? Yeah, the Storm are challenging. They wanted a hold against the Renegades left tackle. But the ruling in the field stands. There is no penalty. So the touchdown stands and the Storm lose their challenge. But I definitely do think that is the right decision to not give him the challenge. That was not holding. And here's the extra point for the Renegades. And it's good. So we're all tied up 17-17 as both teams score pretty quickly on their first drive of the second half. And we're all tied up. with 9:50 to go here in the third. But the Renegades go 62 yards in 6 plays. The Storm went 80 yards in 3 plays. And that was a 36-yard touchdown pass from Austin Reed to Seth Green. After that one, Reed now up to 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he has played very well. He's starting to look a lot more like early season Austin Reed. But they're now back from commercial. 9:50 to go in the third quarter. The kick is away and going to be brought back here by Jashawn Corbin as he returns it to the 30-yard line. So a solid return. So first down here from the 31. And here is a handoff to Rowland. And he'll gain 3 there on first down. So second down and 7. Here is Plummer. And he throws on the slant. That is going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to KJ Hamler. So third and 7. Here's Plummer to throw. And Plummer has time. And he'll check it down into the flat. That's caught by Corbin. And Corbin makes a nice cut. He's got the first down. And he gets inside Renegade territory to the 48-yard line. And he moves the chains. So first down from the 48. Plummer under center. Hamler in motion. And Plummer to throw. And he'll set up the screen for Hamler on the outside. He'll avoid a defender. And Hamler is out of bounds after another 10 yards. Another Renegade first down. So first down from the 37. Plummer to throw again. And his quick throw is knocked away. Trying to get it to Badger. He had to get rid of that quickly with a free rusher off the edge. So 2nd and 10. 7:05 to go in the third quarter. From the 37, Plummer play action. He gets pressure, rolling right. Plummer on the move, and he'll just throw it away. So 3rd down and 10. Plummer in shotgun back to his left. Plummer rolling right. Throws that is called for a first down at the 20-yard line. A sliding catch by Camper. And a first down for the Storm. The Renegade sideline wanted a flag for a hold. They wanted one on the left tackle, 68. There was no flag, and they're not going to challenge. So the play stands. First down, Storm, ball on the 20. So Plummer under center. And he hands off Corbin to the left side. And he goes nowhere. Man, they just have had nowhere to run the ball. Taco Charlton in the backfield. Main disruptor on that play. And it's 2nd and 11. It's been an 8-play, 45-yard drive so far. 4.5 minutes have come off the clock on it as well. So 2nd and 11. Plummer looking. And again, he'll just throw it away, as he's under pressure with nowhere to go. So 3rd and 11. The Storm had just converted 3rd and long. Let's see if they can do it again. Camper at the completion, or the reception on that previous play. So 3rd and 11. And the Storm going to call a timeout. So that's going to leave them with just 1 remaining, after they also lost the timeout when they lost the challenge before. So they have just 1 timeout remaining here with 4:32 to go in the 3rd quarter. Renegades still with all 3 timeouts and their challenge. But it's 3rd and 11, 4:32 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Storm will clinch a playoff spot with a win. Renegades looking to get back on track up to 500 and get to 4-4. They're right now in 6th place. The Storm in third. Top 4 teams make the playoffs. The first team hosts the fourth team. 2 host the 3, and then the 2 semifinal winners meet in DC in the UFL championship game, or now known as the United Bowl. So 3rd and 11. Plummer going to look to throw it. Plummer throws outside. It is low but caught. But he's a little bit short of the first down. Chris Rowland makes the catch. It'll be 4th. No, they're going to give him the first down, actually. I did not think he got there, but they did give him the first down. They go to the ground here on 1st and goal. And here is Corbin as he gets down to the 2. And it brings up 2nd and goal after a nice first down run. It's been a good drive for the Storm. 11 plays, 65 yards. A couple nice 3rd and long conversions as well. 2nd and goal from the 2. Heavy formation for the Storm. They hand it off. Corbin. And he is going to power his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Storm. Jashawn Corbin finds the end zone. The Storm retake the lead as they go right down the field, and they've scored touchdowns on 3 straight drives going back to the first half. Brought an extra lineman into the play there, or into the game. And Corbin just able to power his way through a tackler and find his way into the end zone. So 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns on their last 3 drives, and they're now up 24-17. This offense for the Storm has really woken up. And the interesting thing is all 3 of their touchdowns are on the ground, despite only... Well, I mean, they have now run for 97 yards after the Plummer touchdown. But, I mean, when it comes to actually running the ball, they're not doing it too well. But all 3 touchdowns are on the ground. Plummer is now thrown for 203. As he's 19 for 29. And they've run for 97 yards and on 15 carries, which averages out to 6.5 per attempt. But the offense has really gotten going for the Storm over their past couple drives. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Again, we'll see how the Renegades respond. A great drive there last time after the Storm scored a touchdown. Let's see if that happens again. But the Storm in their last 3 drives, they've gone 10 plays, 50 yards and a touchdown. 3 plays, 80 yards. And then this past drive, 12 plays, 69 yards. And obviously all 3 drives have found the end zone. But the Storm lead by 3. And we'll see. What the Renegades do on this next drive and how they respond. So the kick is going to be brought back from the 1. A really good kickoff. A great placement on it. And it gets brought back to just the 24-yard line. I mean, that's what I think teams need to do on the kickoff. Because you see teams kick it to like the 20-yard line. You've got to kick it to like the 2. Force them to field it and bring it back. In the NFL as well, because obviously you've got the same kickoff rules. So the Renegades start on their own 23. Not great field position. But they go to the ground. Here is Wingard. He's got space. Jukes around the defender. Still on his feet. And Wingard picks up 13 on first down. A very nice run for Lorenzo Wingard. So here is Reed. He's going to hand off again, and Wingard, another good carry. He gains 6 this time on first down. And the Renegades, they've run the ball pretty effectively on this drive. Right, not only on the drive, sorry, but in the game. I'm pretty solid on the ground. But here's 2nd and 4. They go back to the ground. Wingard, lots of space. Inside Storm territory to the 48-yard line. That is 3 straight run plays for Lorenzo Wingard. And he's got 3 really good runs. And that puts the Renegades as a team to 100 yards rushing on the day. This time Reed to throw. He throws outside, but Stoops can't quite hold in a wide throw. And it's 2nd down. So 2nd and 10. Reed gonna look to throw. And that, oh man, that's gotta be caught. It bounces off the chest of Denzel Mims. That's his 2nd drop. He dropped a touchdown earlier. I mean, that's gotta get caught. I mean, it just bounces right off his chest. It's a good throw from Reed. Puts it right on the numbers, and Mims just doesn't catch it. So it's now 3rd and 10. And we're going to get a false start here against the Renegades. That'll back him up even further. And now, the Renegades, they can't punt on this drive. Because they've already crossed midfield. They cannot punt. So, you've got to be thinking, just making a manageable 4th down here. Although the Renegades just going to let this go, and we'll go to the fourth quarter. And this third and long play will be the first play of the fourth. But 24-17, the Storm leads as we go to the final quarter. A very entertaining third quarter. We see 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. And the Storm are up by 7, going to the fourth. But we go to the fourth quarter. A 7-point game. And we'll see what the fourth quarter has in store. Some stats. We go into the fourth. Storm at 300 total yards. Renegades at 195. The Storm are at 6.8 yards per play. Renegades at 5.4. Plummer has thrown for 203. Run for 72 and 2 touchdowns. Reed has thrown for 106 and 2 scores. But obviously, we'll see what the final quarter has for us. And hopefully it continues to be pretty entertaining like the third quarter was. Alright, so we're back from commercial. We start the fourth quarter. 3rd and 15. Reed gonna look to throw. He's sacked. He tries to step up. He gets tripped up. And it brings up 4th and long. And the Renegades have to go for it because they have already crossed midfield on this drive, so they've got to go. And that's a really tough spot to be in. So we'll see what they do here on 4th and about 17. So Reed gonna throw it. Reed steps up downfield. It is caught. Wow! How did they get that? Denzel Mims to the 20-yard line. Reed finds him up the seam, and after 2 big drops in this game, he makes a huge catch on 4th and long, but a flag is down. Really nice play by Austin Reed. Really good throw. But they actually are going to take this back. They're going to call a hold against the Renegades left tackle. So wipe off the great pickup. It is now 4th and 27. You know, your everyday 4th down. I mean, it's definitely a hold. So, I mean, a good call there. So 4th and a mile. Reed rolling right. Throws. That is... Whoa, incomplete. Was looking for Tyler Vaughn's. You almost had him. But it brings up 4th down. Or it's a turnover on downs. And the Storm with great starting field position. The Renegades want a flag. Let's see. Rick Neuheisel's talking to the official. Wonder if he's considering challenging right here. He's got the challenge flag. He's going to challenge. Rick Neuheisel's going to challenge. He says there should be pass interference right there. I mean, I don't really see it. He's trying to come back for the ball. The defender's not dragging him down in any way. Like, I don't see it. Like, the defender does get in the way, but I don't think it's... Like, while he's still on the route, but I don't like this for pass interference. Like, Vaughn's is trying to come back for the ball, which is low and underthrown. Like, I don't... I don't think this is pass interference. So the challenge is unsuccessful. So both teams lose the challenge in this second half. And the Storm take over on downs with a great field position. After the defense gets a stop. And the Renegades lose the challenge. So first down here from the 35. And let's see what the Storm can do. Here's a touch pass for Rowland, trying to reverse the field. And he's going to get taken down after a gain of just a yard. The Storm offense, 3 touchdowns on their last 3 drives. And if they can make it 4 for 4, that'd put them up by 14 in a good spot in this game. So 2nd and 9. Plummer gonna hand off here is Dotson, and he goes nowhere. Man, this Storm offense does not run the ball well at all. So 3rd and 9. This is a big opportunity right here for this Renegades defense. Plummer on 3rd down is 9 for 10 for over 120 yards. He's got time here. Jump pass. Call 1st down. Badger makes the catch. Still on his feet. And he's taken down at the 20-yard line. There's 16 yards. Another completion for Plummer on 3rd down. Another key 3rd down conversion for the Storm. They've been great on 3rd down today. Jack Plummer now 10 for 11. Nearly 135 yards on 3rd down. So ball now on the 20. Plummer, hands off. Here is Dotson up the middle. He slips the tackle. And he's going to gain 6, maybe 7. So 2nd and 3. Here's Plummer rolling to his right. Shovel pass forward to Rowland. And Rowland's got the 1st down. He gains 5. And another solid play for the Storm's offense. So we got an injury timeout as one Renegade defender is down on the field. And hopefully he's okay. But this Storm offense continues to move the ball very effectively. Plummer now up to 224 passing yards, 84 of them to Rowland on 8 catches. He's caught all 8 of his targets. But this has been a very good performance for this Storm offense, looking to make it 4 touchdowns and 4 drives. But they're back from commercial after the injury timeout. Hopefully the injured player is okay. They didn't show who it was, but hopefully whoever it is obviously okay. Storm up by 7, trying to extend that lead and clinch a playoff spot in the UFL with a win. Plummer, hands off. Here's Hammer on the end around. Hammer walks in. Touchdown, Storm. He got scared by the cannons going off. But touchdown, Storm. KJ Hammer a rushing score. And the Storm about to go up by 14 with 10:36 left in this game. That was hilarious. He got scared by the cannons going off after he scored. That's hilarious. I mean, it's not every day you hear cannons go off after you score a touchdown. I mean, he ran right over to him as well, so it must have been pretty loud. God, that was hilarious. But the extra point is good. It is now 31-17. And the Storm have made it 4 drives in a row where they score touchdowns. So 10:36 to go in this game. Storm up by 14. Renegades not out of it, but definitely need their defense to start getting stops if they want to have a chance to come back. Because they can't be allowing touchdowns every possession, like the Storm are on right now. 4 touchdowns their last 4 drives. The kickoff is away. Will be brought back from the 11-yard line by Drake Stoops. And he tries to get outside, and he's stopped at the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 30. Reed in shotgun back to his left. Austin Reed going to look to throw it. And Reed throws the flap that is incomplete. Led Merriweather too far upfield, and he misses the check down. Brings up 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10, after the incompletion. Reed to throw again. He steps up, rolling to his left. Reed on the run. He's going to keep it himself, and Reed is going to have the first. A gain of 14 in the scramble. So here's Reed handing off this time. Here's Merriweather. And he's got a nice run. He gains 9. Getting it inside Storm territory. So 2nd and short. Merriweather again got the first down this time. And he's still on his feet. And he's brought down at the 33-yard line. Another nice run for Ellis Merriweather, who's run the ball very effectively in this game. So 1st and 10 from the 32, where it's officially spotted. Reed to throw. Reed getting pressured. And he'll go deep downfield. Down the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Tyler Vaughns in the end zone. But Vaughns couldn't quite catch up to that one. And it's 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 from the 32. Here's Reed rolling right. And he throws back across the field. That is caught for a first down. Seth Green again. Had the touchdown before. His nice first down pickup here. 7:50 to go. Green now 2 catches, 55 yards, and a score. Reed is thrown for 125 and 2 touchdowns. 11 for 19. I mean, nothing impressive, but he has played pretty well, I feel. Look to throw here. Reed dancing around. And Reed just going to throw it away. So it's 2nd and 10, 7:05 to go. A 14-point Orlando lead. Reed this time hands off. Merriweather slips a tackle, spins around another defender, and gains 5. So it is 3rd and 6, 6.5 to play. I feel like the Renegades might need to start moving a little bit faster. So 3rd and 6, play clock at 1. They'll just get it off. Reed pressured, underneath, incomplete. Led Cup too far, and it's 4th down. You got to go for this, right? Yeah, I mean, you have to. Down 14, 6 minutes left. Field goal is not going to do anything right here. So they will go for it. Gotta have it. It is 4th and 6 from the 8. A first down is inside the 3-yard line. Reed gonna throw. He's got time. Throws. End zone. Call for a touchdown. Emmanuel Butler, his 2nd of the day. And on 4th down, they find the end zone, and it's a 1-score game. A huge throw and catch. Reed with his 3rd touchdown of the day. Butler with his 2nd. And it's a 1-score game. A really nice throw to the back of the end zone, put it only where his guy can get it. And a little bit high, but a nice throw. And a nice catch by Emmanuel Butler. And here is the extra point to make it a 7-point game. And it is good. So 31-24. The Storm still lead, but the Renegades cut it to a 1-score game. And they are not out of it. Also, how about Austin Reed today? 3 touchdown passes. He's played pretty well. I mean, the numbers aren't insane. 134 yards, 54% completion percentage, but 3 touchdowns. He's been helped out by a really good run game as they run for 140 and 5.8 yards a carry. He's had a really nice game. It is his first multi-touchdown game since week 4. And his 3 touchdown passes are the most since week 2, where he threw 4. But he has played very well. Definitely looking a lot more like early season Austin Reed as opposed to mid-season Austin Reed. But he's got 3 touchdowns. He's also run the ball a little bit, as he's run it 6 times for 27 yards. He's having a nice game. Now he needs his defense to get a stop, which is something they have not done at all in the second half. The Storm have scored on 4 straight drives, and every time they've touched it in the second half. So they need to get a stop, but Austin Reed putting his team in position to potentially win this game. But they're back from commercial here. We got 5:31 to go in this game. The Storm will get the ball back. And a big possession right here. Because if you're the Storm, you try to run the ball, obviously, although that's something they have not done very effectively. But they'll try to run the ball, take time off the clock, and obviously try to put it in the end zone, which would kind of essentially end the game. If you go up 14 again with, obviously assuming this drive takes some time, with like 2 minutes left. But if you're the Renegades, you gotta stop, get the ball back. You're only down by 1. This actually turned out to be a really good game. Way better than I expected. Like, I remember before, earlier in the day, I was like, well, I'll stream, but it doesn't seem like a great game. This game's actually been really good. The Storm on their last 4 drives, 31 plays, 234 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Well, let's see if they have to make it 5 in a row. Plummer to throw on first down, and that is off the hands of KJ Hamler. Tried a quick throw for him, and it was right there. Just didn't catch it. It's got to be caught. So it's 2nd and 10. About 5 minutes to go. Plummer gonna hand off this time. Stewart goes right up the middle, and he picks up 5. So now that brings up a huge 3rd down right here. 3rd and 5. Clock is running. 4:35 to go. This is a big 3rd down. Plummer has been insane on 3rd down as well, though. Well, let's see if the Renegades can get a stop. So 3rd and 5. Plummer to throw it. Plummer floats one way over his receiver's head. And it's incomplete. I don't know where he was throwing that. His receiver needed to be about 8 feet tall to catch that. And it's 4th down. I mean, that just came out of his hand wrong. Like, that was a terrible throw. And it's 4th down. I'm gonna watch any of the FIFA. Yeah, I'll watch some of the World Cup. I don't know how much I'll stream, but I'll probably stream some of it. Just 'cause I don't know a ton of soccer, but definitely make some videos on it. And I'll probably stream a little bit, but I'm not exactly sure how much. But I'll definitely make prediction videos and stuff like that on it. Even if I have no idea what I'm talking about, just because it's the World Cup. If you're available, you want to stream. Cool. Yeah, World Cup starts in a little under a month. I think it starts the 11th. I don't know how it's already the middle of May already. World Cup starts, yeah, June 11th. Well, we got 3:28 to go here. Storm up by 7. That previous punt was not a very good one. There's 33 yards. So the Renegades start at their own 34, down by 7, with 3:28 on the clock. So let's see. 7-point game, 3:28 to go. Let's see if Austin Reed can lead the Renegades all the way back. He's thrown 3 touchdowns this game. Let's see what he has in store on this drive. They're going to start on the ground. Wingard gets stopped pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. So it's 2nd and 9. Reed gonna throw. Steps up over the middle. That is off the hands. And oh, it's intercepted! Off the hands of the tight end Cup. Off another deflection and picked off. Wow, that is a really unlucky interception for the Renegades. But it gets picked off and the Storm take over with 2:58 on the clock. Up by 7. Wow. Austin Reed had played so well, he hits his receiver in the hands. Baylor Cup can't catch it. It then gets deflected off the defender and picked off. I mean, that has to be caught. Austin Reed's receiver has not helped him out in this game. That is now 3 drops. One of them in the end zone. And this one on a huge play that probably lost them the game. And Austin Reed can't believe it. The Renegades do still have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. So there's a chance they can get it back, but they need to get a stop. And not a great start to the drive defensively. As 7 yards for Chris Rowland on a quick throw. So 2nd and 3. The Storm going to go to the ground here. Corbin gets stopped. Now, the interesting thing here is, even though they are inside opposing territory, because there's inside 2 minutes to go, they can punt this away. There's going to be inside of 2 minutes by the time they get to 4th down, if they get there. It is 3rd and 2 right now. The Renegades just call a timeout after that 2nd down play, with 2:12 on the clock. So it is 3rd down and 2, each team with 1 timeout remaining. And it's 2nd and 12. Wait a minute, you know what they could do? Well, I don't know if you want to do that if you're the Renegades, but what they could do is they can call another timeout before the 2-minute warning, forcing them to go for it. But in that case, you might just want to make them punt, because then you're guaranteed to get the ball back, whereas if they go for it, they could always get it. But here's a 3rd down. Plummer throws to the flat. It is caught. And they got the 1st down. Another huge play on 3rd down. Bowman makes the catch. And the Storm, their great day on 3rd down continues, as we reach the 2-minute warning. And the Storm with a fresh set of downs. So Storm up by 7. And a huge conversion right there on 3rd down. Tight end Sean Bowman makes the catch. Now, while they're at commercial, let's do some math. They've got a timeout, but that's it. 1 timeout. So we'll say they use it after 1st down. I mean, it doesn't really matter when they use it. But you've got, say your play takes 4 seconds. You can call the timeout with 1:56. So you snap the 2nd down play, take another 4 seconds. That brings it down to 1:52. You can then take 40 seconds off the clock. Will bring you down to 1:12 before the 3rd down play. Another 4 seconds on 3rd down would bring you down to 1:08. Another 40 seconds would bring you down to 38 seconds, right? No. 28 seconds. So the Storm can get the Renegades can get the ball back. They're not going to have a ton of time, but they can get the ball back with about 25 seconds left. So they will have a chance. So 1st down from the 34. Another thing if you're the Renegades, you can't let them kick a field goal, because if they make it a 10-point game, game's over. So 1st down, handoff Corbin goes nowhere. And there is the final timeout by the Renegades. A loss here for the Renegades doesn't necessarily eliminate them from playoff contention, but they would need a lot of things to go their way to make the playoffs at 5-5. So 2nd and 10, 1:55 on the clock. And here is Corbin up the middle. And Corbin, a nice run down to the 27. So, I mean, the Storm are well in range for a field goal. Like, if you get the first down here, that's great, because it's 3rd and 3, so a manageable 3rd down. But if you don't get it, don't force something and try to bounce it outside, take a massive loss. Just let the clock keep running. Just go down right there and try to kick the field goal and make it a 10-point game, because that makes it a 2-score game. You can score 9 on one possession, but not 10. Corbin has the first down. That will seal it. He gets the first, and the Storm gonna hold on for the win. And they'll end up beating the Renegades 31-24. So on a day where they did not run the ball very effectively, they got a couple big runs from Jashawn Corbin on the final drive. And they will hold on for the win. They'll clinch a playoff spot at 6-2. The Renegades lose their 5th straight and fall to 3-5. And their playoff chances went from looking really good after week 3 to pretty bad now after week 8. I mean, I don't think making the playoffs at 5-5 is out of the question, but one that requires them to win out, which is no guarantee with how they've been playing. Even though I do think this is their best game in a while. And 2, they don't have the easiest remaining schedule. They get the Kings and Battlehawks, 2 teams who are playing pretty well. So, I mean, it's very possible they lose both those games. Like, we're saying if they win out, go 5-5. That's not even a guarantee. Both those games on the road, at Louisville, at St. Louis. I don't know. I think they might be looking at 3-7. Although maybe the Battlehawks don't have anything to play for in week 10. They can rest starters. So maybe they win there, but I don't know. But the Renegades fall to 3-5. I mean, it's still possible for them to make the playoffs, sure, but it's very unlikely, I think. Because now you need the Stallions and Kings to be worse than 3-5, or worse than 5-5, because the Stallions and Kings both have the tiebreaker over the Renegades. So you need essentially them to lose out, or at the very least win one more game, or at the very worst, I should say. But the Renegades are not in a good spot when it comes to the playoff race. Still technically possible, but it looks pretty unlikely. But, I mean, I still think the Renegades played pretty well in this game despite the loss. So, I mean, it's definitely a tough one for them. But they played pretty well. The offense scores a little bit. The defense wasn't great. I will say that. But, I mean, Austin Reed had his best game in a while. They ran the ball well. They only had 193 yards, but I thought they played pretty well. Austin Reed threw 3 touchdowns, got so unlucky with that interception. But they ran the ball really well. 141 yards, 5.6 yards a carry. And despite that, they still take the loss because the defense was not very good. But final score, Storm 31, Renegades 24. The Storm clinch a playoff spot. They're the first team in the UFL to make the playoffs this season, or officially lock up their spot in the postseason. Now, they do still have to play for seeding, because they were the 3 seed coming into the day, which means they'd be playing on the road. But if they can get a top 2 seed, they'll be playing at home. Doesn't matter if they're 1 or 2. But if you can get a top 2 seed, they'll play in Orlando. I mean, ideally, you want the 1, because that way one, you're at home, and two, you're facing whatever team just squeaks into the playoffs and not having to face one of these teams who is one of these current 2-loss teams, being the Storm, Battlehawks, or Defenders. For Anthony Beck, this is also the third year he's been a UFL head coach. The third year he's made the playoffs. Now the thing with him is he's got to win playoff games. He has just not done that. But we'll see if he can do that with the Storm. But he wins regular season games. Got to give him credit for that. And the Storm, they're now 6-2, and they've won back-to-back. A nice day for Jack Plummer. 238 yards passing, 70 yards rushing, 2 scores, and a pretty good game all around for the Storm. Offense looks very good. Defense, I don't think was amazing, but they did what they had to. They got really lucky with that interception late in the game. But a nice win for the Storm. They're officially in the playoffs, and they're 6-2 on the year. But that is where I'm going to end this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe, turn notifications. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I do my best to post as often as possible. I've got a lot more content on the way, so be sure to subscribe and turn notifications so you guys don't miss that. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you guys in the next video.